Get ready, because you're now listening to Water Cooler Talk. Covering everything sports and sports news. From the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, the pros, the collegiate level, and everything in between. If it's about sports, then we're about it. So keep it locked to the absolute coolest podcast. Now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to the Water Cooler Talk, man, the coolest podcast in your ear, man. I am your host, Nick Frazier, and the other voice you hear on the other end is
Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, man, for another week. And guess what? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, college football season is here, man. We are so excited because college football season is back.
Back, baby.
And boy, what a weekend it was in college football, ladies and gentlemen.
Sir.
Man.
War Eagle, baby.
Yes, sir, man. War Eagle, shout out to Auburn, man. Coming out there with the taking care of business, doing what they supposed to do.
Dominating.
Look like they dominated. So shout out to Auburn on that, everybody. Oh, man, thank y'all again, man, for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, man. We are back. If you hear our voice, that means it's Wednesday. So thank y'all again for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, downloading the podcast, listening to us, taking time out of your day, and just coming sitting around the water cooler with us while we give our perspective on sports, man. Marcus, how you doing today, boss?
And I'm good, boss. I'm good. I enjoyed the weekend with all these good games. Prime, LSU, Florida State, North Carolina, South Carolina. It was some great games this weekend.
Man, it was a lot of great
and NFL start Thursday.
Hey, man, we are in full swing right now with sports, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited, man. Sports is now in full swing. And how would I put it? We are in that time of the it's like it's like the most wonderful time.
It's like Christmas time to me, man.
You know, that's what it feels like, man. We back. You know, you got something to look forward to on Saturdays because, you know, when it's not football season, on the weekend, it's kind of like
all you doing is reminiscing about football season.
Really?
Football season.
Really, you really are. You kind of like
talking about next season.
Yeah. You know, and it kind of, I don't know if it gets to the point where you say you get bored because you just be like, man, I'm just ready to, you know, see some football, man. You know, we love basketball, of course, man, but it's something about college football and the NFL that just gets your juices pumping and you just like to see the competition. Oh, man, it's so good, man. I'm excited. It's all the way back, man. We got a great show for y'all today, ladies and gentlemen, man. We're going to talk a little bit. We got to recap. And we got to look at what happened this past weekend in college football, man. We're going to talk a little bit about, you know, Colorado, TCU. We're going to take a list. We're going to look at Florida State and LSU, man. And we're going to probably we're going to take a look at some of the biggest surprises in the weekend, and then we'll kind of cap it off with some of this Heisman talk that we hear. So, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
It's about that time, man.
Let's get it.
It's about that time, man. I hear the crowd noise. The crowd wasn't there last week because, you know, that Tiger Walk was playing. But, you know, the crowd back this week. You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, man. The crowd is ready, man. We ready to go. Let's get ready. It's time for the first quarter.
It's now time for the first quarter.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, man. Thank y'all again for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, man. Every Wednesday, we're in your ear, man. Thank y'all again, man. Let's go ahead and get into the first quarter topic, man. Hey, Marcus, man, it's really not a topic, man. We really just want to recap, man. This is one of the biggest surprises of the weekend. The Colorado Buffaloes marched into Texas at Texas Christian University, and they beat the number 17 team in the country, a team that played for the national championship last year. They was a runner-up for the national championship. And Colorado, a team that went 1-11 last year, rolled in and beat the Horned Frogs 45-42. Marcus, you watched that game because I text you during that game.
Yes, sir.
What What are your thoughts, man? What
Well,
do you
well,
think
well,
about
well,
that?
well, Nick, you said it was a surprise to a lot of people. It wasn't a surprise to me. I picked them to win because I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah, you did,
I
you
believe.
did.
But the thing about it is, like you said, we taste during that game. Me, I wanted to see more defense from Prime.
Well, who you telling?
It was no defense in
What?
that game.
No defense in that game. I
It
would tell
was
you.
no
I
defense.
would tell you this. I would tell you this. Colorado played some good defense in the first half. They got
They
some
small
stops.
though. They small.
They are small. They got some
They
stops in the
small.
first half, though. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit, but we'll talk about it in a little bit more later on in the segment. But Colorado got some. They were stopping them, but that second half, it was
Man,
back to back. They were scoring. And boy, that's crazy, man.
that was a real shootout, man. You had 4 receivers over 100 yards. That's a
Goodness
shootout.
gracious, man. I looked at that game and I was like, bruh, the Pac-12 and the Big 12 are horrible on defense. That's
Bro,
what I
but
said.
to me, that's what made Prime's transfer to Colorado so brilliant. If I have a quarterback son that I want to get to the next level, why not go to a conference where you can showcase his quarterbacking talents?
You got a point. I agree with you on that. But let's look at it like this. I look at it like this. Okay. You sit there, you have this, this talented offense, high power offense. Cause let's be clear, Shador has been in this system since he was what?
High school, middle school?
Middle school? Because I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, Coach Prime has been his coach.
Since about high school?
Yeah, since by high school. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the offensive coordinator at one of the high school he went to before I think Prime Prep closed or something like that.
Yep.
He was the offensive coordinator. Then of course, he originally came out and he committed to FAU. But then after that, his dad, Coach Prime, ended up going to Jackson State, becoming the head coach. Then he backed off that and ended up going to Jackson State. He's been in this system for a while. You know what I'm saying? So he knows the system. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, they're gonna run up against a team that they're gonna have to play some real defense against in order to win.
USC?
Oregon.
Oregon? Yeah, that's the only games I can't wait to see. Shoot, even Utah right now.
Washington, because Washington has a very good defense.
Yeah, Utah look good too against Florida. So
Utah,
man.
You know what? Did Utah look good against Florida? Or is Florida just that bad? Because I watched that game and I was like,
I want to say Florida's just that.
Because I watched that game and I was like, bruh, like if you look at Utah scored on their first offensive play of the season.
Yep.
It's like a 70-some yard touchdown pass. It wasn't even Cam Rising who's their starting quarterback. It was the two backups trying to fight for the second position. So I'm like, bruh, Florida disappointed me.
Very
so
very much.
they're
And
still.
we picked them to win.
I surely did. I surely thought Florida was gonna go out there and
did too.
beat Utah, but it is what it is, man. But no, I'm just saying. I'm looking at it and I'm like, eventually, Colorado is gonna have. They're gonna come up against a defense that is stout enough to not just make one stop to win the game. They're gonna make multiple stops against them guys. I mean, athlete to athlete, they'll be able to complete. They'll be able to compete with them.
So, what defense do you think will get them the most trouble
In that conference on their schedule? Let's look.
Yes.
Let's look at Colorado's schedule. I should have had this written down already, but I want to say I'll put it like this. I don't think USC's defense will give them a problem, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon's defense gave them a problem.
Yeah, I see Oregon giving them a problem.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Possibly Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State had a pretty good showing against San Jose State this past weekend as well too. I mean, I put it like this, man. Stanford normally has a pretty decent defense as well. USC just outscore you. Like
I was just gonna say Caleb Williams it's gonna be a showdown between them.
Yeah. USC just normally outscores you. You know what I'm saying? Washington, don't they play Washington this season as well? Let me see. Apparently they don't. They don't play Washington.
They
Hold
play
up.
Washington State.
Yeah, they just play Washington State. Ooh, they got away with that one. That Utah game would be would be interesting as well. Um, yeah, I mean, looking at the game, man, it was a, it was overall, it was probably. I saw the stats of the game, and it was probably a very lopsided one way towards Colorado. It really was. They only had 6 penalties the whole game, which is amazing. Like a team that only have 6 penalties for only 35 yards compared to, 10 penalties for 78 for TCU. Nah, they did not run the ball well at all. They only had a net average of 55 yards for the whole game. And you know what? It's very rare that you see the team that ran the ball the worst lose. Because when you run the ball, you normally control the clock. But that was that was kind of weird. But TCU, I put it like this, man. Watching that game, I'm happy. I'm happy that Coach Prime and the Buffs went in and got that W. I am, because that is a program boosting win for Colorado. It is.
Most definitely.
But
It's
also
a statement too.
it is a statement win. But looking at it from a football perspective, TCU made a lot of mistakes, man.
Most definitely.
They was in the red zone twice, and they threw 2 interceptions in the red zone. Like driving the ball to score, they threw 2 interceptions in the red zone. That's 14 points. Well, that's 12 points off the board. Not knowing if they'll get the extra point or not, but that's 12 points off the board right there. And even in the second half, they were going. You watch the game, they was going back and forth, man. What was the score at halftime? 24-21? Because then the kicker Feely, he kicked the field goal to take the lead or something like that. Was it 24-21 or 24-17 or something like that?
I think it was at halftime probably 17-14, I think.
Yeah.
Colorado?
Yeah, it was 17-14. Yeah, something like that. 17-14 Colorado is what it was at halftime. And man, I mean, just going back and forth, man. They was going back and forth, and TCU made some very critical mistakes in the red zone. And TCU wasn't the only team this weekend that did not score when they had the chance. They was in the red zone. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later on, and things, stuff like that. But you can't deny that hurt them in the end. But you look at the stats, man. What was it? Shador had what? He was 38 of what? 47
9 passes.
Yeah, 38 of 47 for 510 yards.
4 TDs. 4 receivers over 100 yards.
Man, he was completing passes at an 80% clip. 80% of his passes he was completing.
Man, he looked like he was back at the HBCU.
And then not to mention Travis Hunter out there playing both sides of the ball, man. 11 catches, 119 yards. And on the offense side, and then coming back on the defense side, had 3 tackles and 1 interception. Man, them dudes was, I mean, that was a shootout game, man. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, that was man, I don't even have the words for it, like, to be completely honest with you.
Man, just to think though, like, bro, Travis Hunter dropped one in the end zone.
He did. He dropped one in the end zone.
He could have caught. It would have been.
Yeah, it was 2 touchdowns. It was 2 touchdowns. One long throw that he dropped in the end zone, and then the one that he caught that they called a touchdown, and then overturned.
He led it.
Yeah, he overturned. So you can sit there and say that they had 2 touchdowns taken off the board as well for them too, as well, man. But man, wow, man, that was a great game, man. I'm excited for Prime. I don't know if it's an overreaction right now. Because do you think people are overreacting right now to this win? Like,
in my honest opinion, yes, because it wasn't a blowout.
But I'm proud.
Because I'm proud, but I'm still proud of what they accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I came up, I think they're ranked
22nd. Yeah, 22 now.
22nd in the AP poll.
Mm-hmm.
Is Colorado the 22nd best team in the country?
All I would say is they can't be in shootouts every game and expecting to win. Like it's at a certain point, I want to see if defensively they emerge because then I'll be like, okay, high power offense, like you said, Shador been in that offensive system since high school. High powered offense, defense able to carry their own. Okay, then we can look at them. But like 42, 45, late game heroics,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all right. I'm proud of you because you did what you did, but like let's calm it down and let's play football. It's a long season ahead of us.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I feel you on that because I look at the fact it's a lot of people. Like when I woke up, I saw that this morning. When I saw that, not this morning when I woke up, but I saw it throughout the day today. Like the 2022. I was like, is Colorado the 22nd best team? Do you? Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think Tulane is better than Colorado?
Nah,
You don't think Tulane better than Colorado?
nah.
So okay, well, Tulane beat USC last year in a bowl game.
We're
Pretty much the same team coming back.
I definitely feel you.
On a neutral site field, you don't think Tulane could beat Colorado or Colorado could beat Tulane on a neutral site?
Neutral site, I got 35-31 Colorado.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Clemson.
Are we really gonna ask that
That's funny.
Did they
That's funny.
just lose to the basketball school?
Wow, that's funny, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, man. That's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, man, that was a good first quarter, man. Hey, that was pretty good, man. I hear it, man. We just getting rolling, everybody. We getting rolling. We just getting started. It's almost time, man. We in here, man. We are in your ear, man. Water Cooler Talk podcast every Wednesday, baby. We here. Let's go. It's time for the second quarter.
Now entering the second quarter.
Oh, man, thank y'all again, man, for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, man, every Wednesday in your ear, like I just said it. And we are back, man. Just thank y'all again for tuning in, man. All right, man, we head into the second quarter. All right, man, and man, it's so, I'm like I said, I'm happy that college football is back because now we have stuff that we can talk about that is happening. And we can give our analysis on it as it goes, man. And this was probably the biggest game of the weekend because I know it was between two top 10 ranked teams.
Yes, sir.
Man, this LSU Florida State game, man. Bruh, man.
Another one we picked wrong.
We did. We surely did, man, because I definitely, just based off of what the game was, how the game went last year, I was like, bruh, both teams have gotten better. I was like, this is going to be a classic. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Man, I was wrong.
At least we thought both teams got better. One team got better.
What you think?
Well, all the projections that LSU had, Brian Kelly being the preseason pick for Coach of the Year,
Mm-hmm.
us putting them in, well, I had them in my top 4 to go to the playoffs.
I did.
But that was thinking that McDaniel was going to take the next step, which in the first half, like me and you talked about off screen, they looked good first half.
They did.
Don't know what happened second half.
I don't know. I you know what? I watched that game too, man. Bruh. I'm actually thinking about right now in my house, changing my whole living room around. I'm thinking about getting 4 TVs and put it on the biggest wall in my living room so I can watch 4 games at one time. I'm thinking about doing that. I think I'm gonna make it happen. But man, you could not tell. Okay, here's another scenario. Florida State comes out, they get the ball, they drive the ball downfield in like 2 plays.
31 unanswered points, bro.
No. At the beginning of the game, not Florida State.
Okay.
I mean LSU. I'm sorry, not Florida State. At the beginning of the game, LSU gets the ball, drives the ball down the field in like 2 plays.
Oh yeah, I was hyped for him. I was like, "Hey, these boy right."
I said this. I was like, Florida State overhyped. That's what I said. I said LSU about to put it on.
Right there with you.
I was like,
LSU
bruh,
is who I thought they were.
They are who we thought they were. That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
Second half, it showed.
Man, Florida State
Wah.
drove down the field on that first drive, got in the red zone. And I don't know what happened, but on that first drive in the game, Florida State knuckled up and they became the 2009 Alabama defense. I don't know what Florida State. I don't know what happened. It's like LSU couldn't
flying to the ball.
It's like LSU couldn't run up the middle. It was like they defensive line. I'm gonna put it like this: Florida State defense after those two. I think it was like 2 or 3 big plays on that first drive when LSU was driving down the field because LSU got the ball to start the game. When they got in the red zone and they got down to like the 2-yard line, man, Florida State defense, like them dudes, they knuckled up and like it was like, nah, bro, nah, bro. And then it ended with Jane Daniels getting sacked on like a fourth and something, man. I was like, what is going on, man? Like that was crazy.
Do you put that on play calling, though, Nick? Or do you put that on a quarterback having to execute?
I would have to put that on. I would have to put it on the offensive line because when you get down in the red zone, right, and you on the 1-yard line,
foot to foot,
all I need for the offensive line is to move the line of scrimmage a half a yard opposite of them. Because literally all you can do is give the ball to your running back or the wide receiver, keep it, and you fall into the end zone. But when your offensive line can't get a push and move the line of scrimmage to where the running back can move, it's going to be a long day.
2 or 3 straight plays.
That's what I'm saying.
2 or 3 straight plays.
That's what I'm saying. This is how I feel. I know I might be old school. I might be a little old school. But it might just be the way that college football and football is going to now because it's more of a spread type thing. But when you get on the goal line inside the 5-yard line and you spread out and you throwing the ball,
the field is shorter. So
yes.
It's like, to me, I don't understand why a lot of teams do that. Like, I understand the slant and shoot plays because those are like pick plays to get you open real quick. But like you said, if you inside the 10-yard line, give it to the running back, bro.
I just feel like you need to have an offensive line. Excuse me. Oh my God.
Bless you, Nick.
Thank you, man. You need to have an offensive line that is big enough, strong enough to when you get inside the 5, like when you get inside the 5-yard line, you know automatically I can run the ball.
At least a quarterback sneak. They
Something.
can't even quarterback sneaky,
Something, bro. Something.
like the defensive tackle came straight through.
It was horrible. And then not to mention LSU came down and they stopped Florida State as well too because it was really an even game in that first half. But boy, when that second half started,
cocaine to Travis Jordan said, you know what he told him? You know what he told him.
Man.
You know what he told him, Nick. Can I tell him what he told him?
What he told him?
You ain't going to McDonald's.
You ain't going to McDonald's after the game. You don't win. Bruh, hey, man, we got to make that a drop. We got to make that a drop. If you don't win, you ain't going to McDonald's. But, you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you this, man. Jane Daniels threw a pick. And at that moment, that's when I saw the momentum kind of leave LSU. Jane Daniels threw a pick. I think he was throwing it to the outside to Malik Neighbors. And when he threw it outside to Malik Neighbors slipped. He was throwing the ball towards the end zone. And when he slipped, it was an easy pick for the DB. If the DB didn't step in front of it and catch it and dropped it, he would have not played anymore for that team. But it was an easy catch. And he caught it, and when he caught it, his knee touched the ground when he caught it, and they called the play dead. And from that moment on, man, Florida State was rolling. And after that, it was over with. But I was like, man, this is sad, man. This LSU team, bro, it's like they lost all momentum at that point.
But that's what I was talking about McDaniels is the same as last year to me. Because last year he'll do that, break his spirit. he'll come back in. It's hard for him to recuperate. Like I wanted to see him rally the troops, bring the team back together, and come up with some drives, some extended drives to get in the end zone.
Yeah, but when Florida State, it's something about momentum, man. And I'm telling you,
Most definitely.
it's something about momentum. And Florida State looked good, man. They looked really good. Like they looked like Florida State looked like they could be a playoff team. Now, granted, this happened last year. Florida State beat LSU in the first game, and then they went on to lose the next 3 games after that, after they played LSU last year. So jury's still out. I'm just saying right now, Florida State looks good. After the first game, they look good.
I would say that they might win the ACC, because I don't see nobody really messing with them.
Hey,
the team that I thought they were gonna compete.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what team in the SEC. I'm not the SEC. The ACC can compete with them. I've got 2 of them right now.
Give me one.
Duke. I think Duke looked good.
You like what you seen.
I like what Duke did against Clemson.
You like what you seen last.
I like what I saw against Duke. And North Carolina, bro. North Carolina got the best quarterback in the country.
Best quarterback.
I was on record saying that Caleb Williams was the best quarterback in the country. After I saw Drake May play, because that was my first time seeing Drake May play. Yeah. With Drake May playing, and the way that North Carolina's defense played, the way that I thought South Carolina's defense should have played.
That's the reason why I went with North Carolina, just because of him. But me seeing that Florida State defense, man, them defensive ends and defensive line get after it. Bro.
It's something about it, bro. That's what
it's gonna be crazy when they see each other.
That's what makes I believe that's what makes the SEC so much better than other teams. And now you have your outliers, of course, because you have your Florida States, you have your North
Ohio
Carolinas,
States,
stuff like that. But majority of SEC teams are so good on the front line, on the offensive defensive side of the ball, offensive defensive line, in their front seven on the defense, they are so good that it just disrupts what other teams want to do. Like they are so good. And that's what Florida State looked like. Florida State front seven looked legit. Just like North Carolina's front seven looked legit. I'm like, man. Like when I saw that, I was like, bruh, I think this is the season where you're gonna see a lot of stuff happen to where it's gonna be like, man, like it's a lot of uncharacteristic type stuff. This is not gonna be a status quo type season.
No.
This season, college football is not gonna be a status quo type season.
Nah. This one, I feel like you will not see all the traditional teams that we used to see at the top.
Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly on that. Is a lot of the traditional teams, and with the landscape of college football now, with the transfer portal and the NIL being in effect,
it's gonna be like this for years to come.
Oh man, you are about to see a lot of. I'm not gonna say, because I still think a lot of your top programs are gonna be top programs. I still think the SEC is gonna be the SEC.
And Alabama, Georgia,
and then of course now with NIL, you see some of those bottom tier SEC teams starting to become a lot more competitive.
Yeah, the gap didn't close.
Yeah, the gap didn't close. Arkansas looked good. Yeah. I always thought Auburn was one of those teams that I call Auburn one of those every 4-year teams. Like every 4 years they will do something great, but NIL creeping up, Auburn gonna be in that mix every year. Kentucky could probably be in that thing. I'm just saying, you gonna see a lot of those bottom tier teams in the SEC who will still beat other bottom to middle tier SEC teams who will still beat other conferences teams handily, become better and things of that nature. So I mean, I think, man, look,
Nick, can you give me one SEC team you want to see have success outside of Auburn?
Vanderbilt.
Me too. You took the word right out of my mouth. Bro, they've been down so long.
Oh my God, who you telling?
I just want to see 1 year with Vanderbilt.
I
want to go to Vanderbilt.
Bro, look, listen, Vanderbilt hard to get into. I'm telling you that now, bro. It's like the Harvard of the South, man. Harvard of the South.
Because they care about academics.
They do.
Anybody out there, you think you finna go be an athlete at Vanderbilt? No, sir.
I'm gonna tell you this though. Vanderbilt has made an effort to make athletics important because they know athletics.
It's where the money at.
Exactly. It's going to run the school. It runs the school. Like, if you start winning, people start donating. You know what I'm
And
saying?
they have shown, it's been shown that if you're a winning school, your enrollment goes up.
Mm-hmm. Prime example, look at Alabama.
Yep.
Before Nick Saban got there, bro, don't nobody thinking about going to
Care
Alabama.
about Alabama.
Nobody thinking about going to the University of Alabama. But as soon as them national championships start rolling in, boy, shoo, enrollment popped up. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, man, that was a good first half, man. That was a great first half, man. Okay. Hey, man, teams are going into the locker room, man. Hey, y'all know what time it is. It's time for halftime.
You don't out your seats. It's halftime.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are in halftime right now, man.
Yes,
thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear, man. We are here every Wednesday, man. Thank y'all again, man. Hey, man, take care of some housekeeping rules, man. Hey, go follow us on our social medias, man. We trying to get those followers up, man. We see y'all looking, but none of y'all ain't really tapping the follow button or we get the views, but nobody's really, they ain't subscribing, man. Marcus, they not subscribing, bro. What we got to do?
Y'all gotta subscribe.
You know what? They not subscribing. I see the views, but I don't see the subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's gonna change when we start getting the long form content, when we get the video content up. We give them that. That's coming October 4th, by the way. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, hey man, go follow us on YouTube. Go follow us on Instagram at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk on TikTok. Also, man, follow us on Twitter, man. I do be live tweeting sometimes during the games when they do be coming on. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Again, that's at CoolestPod23. If you want to sit down and talk with us, man, email us at wctpod@gmail.com. Again, that's wctpod@gmail.com. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go subscribe, like to our YouTube channel, man. You can find us at the CoolestPod23. On YouTube, the Coolest Pod 23, or type in the search bar on YouTube, Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Again, that's Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Hey, man, like I said, man, I see the people looking, but I think they just want to see some more content from us.
Hey, hold up, Nick. Did you get any DMs or sign-ups for our contest?
Not yet, man. Go ahead and tell them about the contest, man. Tell them about the contest.
Oh, man, come on, y'all. I need y'all to DM us. I need y'all to participate. We got a $50 gift card for you for wherever you want to go. Just come on, subscribe. Not subscribe, but enter our contest by September 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Put your name in. We need you to pick these games with us because we picking them too. And at least you get a $50 gift card. One of us got to get a water cooler dunked on our head. So you know what I'm saying? Like, come and have fun with us.
Yeah, man.
We sit around the round table with us and have fun. Man.
Yeah, man. We just trying to make it a little bit more interesting, man. It's pretty good, man. We excited, man. I think, and as I said, ladies and gentlemen, once we get the show that you hear every Wednesday now, you'll still be able to listen to it in audio form. But starting October 4th, ladies and gentlemen, the Water Cooler Talk, as you hear it now, will be in video form on YouTube. You will be able to see us. You will be able to see us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Every Wednesday on YouTube. You will be able to watch the show that we record every Wednesday for you all. You'll be able to watch it every Wednesday on YouTube at 7 p.m. So I think once we start getting the videos out, I think people will subscribe and they'll come because they want to see us.
Definitely.
They want to see us. You know what I'm saying? They want to see us. So, man, we have a lot of stuff coming down the pike, man. Another thing that we got coming is we have segments coming out called Water Breaks. So every Monday and Friday, we'll be putting out every Monday and Friday starting October 1st, we'll be putting out small clips of us debating and giving our takes on a subject matter that you'll be able to watch every Mondays and Fridays. And man, we have a lot of stuff planned, man. So keep engaging with us. I wish that you all would hit that subscribe and that like button and follow button a little bit more because I see you seeing it. I see you all looking at it. But hey, man, we appreciate y'all either way, man. So thank y'all again. We love y'all, man. Thank y'all again, man. Marcus, man. We got about
Yes,
we got
sir.
about 3 more minutes before we have to get back to the game before the teams come out. The tournament.
Man, what you think about the NFL season kicking off Thursday, Nick? Man, we ain't
Man,
say nothing about
I
that, man.
feel
The Chiefs
great.
versus Detroit.
I'm right now, as we speak, the Detroit Lions will beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday.
Whoa. I hear a lot of people saying that. You are not alone on that.
As we speak right now, the Detroit Lions will beat the Kansas City Chiefs as we speak.
I hear a lot of offseason hype about Detroit. I really want to see what they're about.
I told you on a couple of shows back, I picked Detroit as probably one of my dark horse Super Bowl contenders, just because of the division they're in. It's kind of a weak division, and I think Detroit has a chance to make some noise. So I'm gonna just leave that right there, man. Marcus, what you thinking?
Me myself personally, I feel like Detroit's success depends on Jared Goff.
Yep.
If Jared Goff can take the step that he needs to take to be an elite quarterback in this league, I feel like they make a playoff berth.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, Detroit will be who Detroit has always been. All right quarterback. Well, Matt Stafford was a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But a good quarterback on a team that has a lot of missing pieces that can't get over the hump.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. So I think Detroit. Yeah. I can't argue that. I'm trying to find a way to, but I can't argue that. I can't argue that at all. I can't. I'm not even gonna try to, man. Oh man, that was a good analysis. That was a great analysis, Marcus. Great job. Great job. Oh man.
That's why you got me here, right?
Hey man, of course. Oh man. I see the teams coming out the tunnel, man. It sounds like the crowd is ready for the second half, man. It sounds like everybody is ready to get this game started, man. The teams are being hyped. The teams are ready. We ready to go, man. Hey, it's time for the third quarter.
We've now entered the third quarter.
Again, man, thank y'all again for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. The coolest podcast in your ear, man. We are here every Wednesday. Come sit around the water cooler with us as we give our perspective on sports. Oh, man, third quarter. We back, man. Time to get into the lab. We in the second half right now, man. We in the second half. We got some juicy stuff coming. Third quarter, man. So, Marcus, what was the biggest surprise that you found this weekend in college football, man? The biggest one, or some of the biggest surprises you found.
I got like two. The one big surprise for me, I was shocked to see the dying Pac-12 conference go undefeated the first week.
Went 12-0.
So I was shocked on that. That was stunning. And another surprise for me would be Colorado, like everybody else. Seeing I picked them to win, but seeing how good Shador and Travis really are at this level is amazing.
Those are actually two good picks, man, because as we know it, the Pac-12 is no more.
Yeah, it's dead.
And they literally went undefeated this past weekend in college football.
They playing their butts off.
They really did, man.
And every quarterback I heard had a tremendous game.
Yeah.
Like all the quarterbacks from the Pac-12 lit it up.
I think the closest game that was in the Pac-12 this past weekend was a 3-point game. Arizona State beat Southern Utah 24-21. But every other team, Colorado 45-42 win. Oregon State 42-17 win. Cal 58-21 win. Arizona 38-3 win. USC 66-14.
I wasn't even gonna talk about that one right there, dog.
Goodness
that one right there was
gracious,
crazy.
Man. Pac-12, man.
Crazy.
Pac-12 had a great
Most definitely
great weekend.
So what would you say your surprises were, Nick? What really shocked you?
People got on me about this. And you know what? They probably I did not explain it well when I said what I said when we had this debate about the coaches, right? Who was our top 3 coaches?
Yeah.
I probably didn't explain it well enough. But the fall of the Clemson University football team.
Woo.
That's
Hey,
my biggest surprise.
Woo.
That's my biggest surprise.
Hey, we did not. We both. I'll get to that later in the episode. You know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
feel
we
you on
both
that.
did not look good.
That is my
With
biggest
our top three.
surprise. How bad is Clemson? Now, when we had that conversation, I want to say it was a couple of weeks ago, probably 2 shows ago. We had a conversation, and I said that Dabo Swinney was not a top 3 coach. He wasn't. That's what I said.
Yep.
I put Brian Kelly in his place. Now, Brian Kelly got beat too this past weekend, but Brian Kelly's team at least was competitive for half of that game. Clemson was not competitive at all.
Bro, 7 points.
7 points. And you watch that game, they got those 7 points off of a punt that was muffed by Duke. And Clemson recovered the ball at like the 22-yard line, and they went in and scored from there. Imagine if Duke did not muff that punt. Clemson wouldn't have scored.
Out.
Clemson would not have scored.
When Buddy scored on that stop route, like I was like, yeah, bro.
The way Duke ran the ball against Clemson's defense, I'm like, bruh, Clemson ain't got no dudes, bruh. Like, you know how they say you got Jimmys and Joes. I don't even think Clemson ain't got none of the Joes or the Jimmys.
But you know why though? Because Dabo don't want to.
He don't want to take advantage of the transfer portal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He don't want to get with the times, but that's the only way you gonna survive.
Exactly, man.
Like if Nick Saban can do it and adjust, and you know Nick Saban was stuck in his ways for years. If he can adjust and get better, what you think you gonna have to do, Dabo?
Look, I'm telling you, Dabo Swinney, and let me explain what I said back then.
It's probably gonna cost him his job.
Exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Dabo Swinney is not a top 3 coach to me because exactly like you said, he does not adapt with the times. Dabo Swinney won 2 national championships, and he had another national championship. He won 2 national championships and had 2 national championship appearances because he had generational type quarterbacks that led those teams. Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. If Dabo does not have generational type quarterbacks, he can't win. He can't. He will, and you know what? Dabo will probably
hard to fight for Dabo today after what he did.
He will probably still win 9 games this year in the ACC because there are, after what I've seen this week, this past week, there are only 3 teams. And you know what? I would still say Clemson is a top team in the ACC because the ACC is kind of weak. They kind of a weak conference.
Yeah, it's like Florida State, North Carolina, and then the drop off is tremendous.
Yeah, you will put Florida State, North Carolina. You know, Duke is teetering up there. I don't know about Miami yet, but we're gonna find out this week about Miami.
I can't wait to see that one.
I can't wait to see that game either. But the fall of Clemson as a program, it's hard to watch, man, because at one point in time, people were saying that Dabo was better than Nick Saban.
Nah, they should have known better. Nah, like just because he was competing with Nick in those couple years, nah, he ain't got the track record.
They were saying that Dabo was better than Nick Saban. Now I'm like, okay, Dabo had like I said, Dabo had he had generational type quarterbacks that came through and that helped that team win. But other than that, I don't Clemson's program has dropped precipitously. And it's hard to watch because the ACC is already not a strong conference. They have some strong teams. That they have one or two strong teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they always have one or two strong teams
At the
there,
top.
that'll throw you off.
You know what I'm saying? But it's hard, man. It's hard, man. And I'm like, bro, Dabo, what you doing, dog? What does Dabo mean? No. I'm curious to know, what does that mean? Does that mean dat boy? Dat boy? Are they saying dat boy?
It don't mean get transfer players. That's what it don't mean.
Yeah, but no, for real though, low key, Dabo is gonna have to adapt to the times. If he wants to win, he's gonna have to jump in that transfer portal. He's gonna have to jump in that transfer portal and get some of the top guys. He's gonna have to recruit better. He's gonna have to not just wait for those guys to get into the system, develop the guys, because and then hope that those guys 2-3 years down the road pan out. That's not the way college football is being played now. 10 years ago, yes, that's fine. But
he gotta get a quarterback that can help him win right now. Like,
he
everybody gets players that they can win with right now. So it's just like, if you don't get with the times, I don't think you're gonna be in Clemson long.
Yeah, Dabo want those guys that want to come to Clemson because they love Clemson. I'm like, look, Dabo, stop. Nobody is going to a school right now because they love that school so much. You do have some recruits that want to go to certain schools because they love that school. They probably grew up watching that school or they fell in love with school. Man, in the NIL era that we in right now, those guys want to come. Those guys come to that school because you paying me to play.
I just want to say that went out the window. Probably you might get a player that might go because of a coach's pedigree, but rather than that, it's about what you can do. If I'm a 5-star, it's about what you can do for me. Like,
what you can do for me. Yeah, I like if I'm looking at it from the perspective if I was being a recruit. If I'm a 5-star recruit, I'm looking at, okay, how quick can I get on the field and contribute? What's your track record of sending players to the NFL?
Yep.
What am I going to get each year for playing for your school in this NIL collective?
Yep.
That's 3 right there. Most of those guys are not thinking about education.
Nope.
They're not.
The student been off student athlete for a minute.
Exactly.
In these last couple years.
Very true. Very true. None of those guys are thinking about the educational part of anything. They're not. But for some reason, we want to keep calling these guys student athletes for the longest. When they do go to class, yes, they do go to class. They do get free tuition. They do get free room and board. They do get all that type of stuff.
Well, Nick, let's call a spade a spade. We both played college football. We both know during football season.
Well, technically, I didn't play college. I just, I tried out. Things happen.
It is what it is. but
tried out.
We both know that.
But it didn't work.
During football season, players don't go to class for real. we give y'all the behind the scenes. College football players during football season, they hardly go to class.
Yeah.
Especially the early morning classes. You might catch them in the afternoon or 11 o'clock class, but the 8 o'clocks or the 4 o'clocks, no.
I look at it. I tell you this, man. In this era of college football, going back to what I said about Dabo is the biggest surprise of Clemson's downfall. Man, if he don't get it together, because there are a lot of guys out there that are good, that are not interested. They are interested in using your university the way that you're using them to promote to play football.
Yeah, of course.
They are interested in using your university to get to the next level.
That's the art of the business now.
Exactly.
That's what the NIL open it up for.
It's a quid pro quo. It's a quid pro quo relationship.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do for me? And I can do this for you. I'm a superstar quarterback. Okay. I will come put on a Clemson uniform right now and help your team win a national championship. Help you stay in the conversation with Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and all those other guys as top coaches, and help you stay relevant as a coach, and help the reputation and the reputation of Clemson move up. But you got to pay me.
That's the only way you close the talent gap.
Exactly. And I don't fault them for that. And if Dabo don't get that in his mind and start utilizing that transfer portal like he's supposed to,
he won't be that long.
He ain't gonna be at Clemson long enough. Them two national championships, he ain't gonna be able to rest on them 2 national championships like he was before, because Kirby coming.
Man,
Hugh
Kirby
Freeze
to
coming
me-
too. I'm telling you, bro. These, bro. It's
To me,
last
Kirby
thoughts.
already there. Like Kirby, like
Yeah, you got a point. You right. He ain't coming.
to me,
Yeah,
Kirby up there.
what they
Like, bro,
said.
come on.
What Coach Brown say? We ain't coming. We here.
Yeah,
We
like
here.
to me, the biggest thing for Kirby was getting past Nick Saban, and once he put that to bed,
You got a point.
you know,
You got a point. Ladies and gentlemen, man, that was a great third quarter, man. We about to get into this fourth quarter, man, because you know what time it is. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
We have now arrived at the fourth quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the fourth quarter right now, man, and we are here, man. Thank y'all again for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, man. The coolest podcast in your ear, man.
Oh, them foes up.
Oh, boy, man. Hey, I got to give a shout out to Auburn Addict, who was on the show last week, man. Hey, if y'all don't,
Shout out my boy DC.
go look at his page, man. He referenced us a lot in his past video he did before the UMass game, man. So man, we mess with Auburn Addict, man. We appreciate you, dog. Thank you so much for coming on the show. He will be back, and we will be on his show
Yes, sir.
coming up soon, man. But we in the fourth quarter right now, man, and we gonna delve into the hype right now. We gonna jump into it. We gonna jump into it head first. After the performance that Colorado had, right? They already talking Heisman Trophy. Already talking Heisman Trophy.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna ask this question right here. We're gonna jump into it. Who deserves more Heisman hype? Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter?
Woo! Me myself personally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
I'm going with Shedeur only because I feel like he can sustain his play longer than Travis. For Travis, listen. If Travis continues to do what he did in this first game throughout this season, he's just not a Heisman candidate. He's the best player we ever seen. Like, can you name one player to lead the league in lead college in interceptions and receiving yards? That would be
a first. I think that would be a first.
Crazy.
I think that would be a first. Lead the league in interceptions and receiving. That would be a first.
I can see Shedeur putting up 300 to 400 yards a game and getting in the Heisman conversation. Now that's doable with all the weapons he got. That's doable. Travis continuously 100-yard interceptions every game. No man, did Travis do that? My God, like, bro. We would really have to sit here and be like, is Travis Hunter really the greatest college football player we ever seen? If he can continue that?
Yeah. See, this is where I have a problem with, and this goes back to previous episodes we had when you talk about, MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs, and things and stuff like that. I'm starting to believe that the Heisman Trophy is becoming a quarterback-only award. I'm starting to believe that. I mean, with the exception of Devontae Smith winning it in, I think it was 2020 or 2021? 2020. With him winning it, that's because I think, who was his quarterback? Mac Jones? Was that in? And come on. I'm starting to believe that the Heisman Trophy is becoming a quarterback-only award. Because even if you look at it, the person that wins the Maxwell Trophy normally wins the Heisman Trophy. And the quarterback that normally wins the Davey O'Brien Trophy is always in the running for the Heisman Trophy. The quarterback that wins the Davey O'Brien Trophy normally is in the running for the Heisman. The Heisman is supposed to be considered the best player in college football.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Travis Hunter. I'm going to say Travis Hunter deserves more consideration because, yes, the quarterback dictates the offense.
Yeah.
Dictates the offense. Don't get it twisted. But when you have a player that plays both sides of the ball, what was his stats? 11 for 119. He was averaging 10.8 yards per catch. Then he went over, had 3 tackles and 1 interception. and then he had a couple of pass breakups down the field that was amazing.
Yep. If he sustains that Nick, he's bar none
He's
the greatest college player we ever seen.
You right. You are right. You are right. I agree with you on that. My thing is this, man. We need to stop making awards about the quarterback.
Well, the thing about it, going back to what you said, the reason why it's about the quarterback now because it's a passing game now. Back when before it became majority quarterbacks, like you had the Reggie Bush, you had the running backs because it was a running back game back then. But now since it's strictly about passing, you're gonna see all the quarterbacks get it because they're the ones who getting the ball out.
But I understand that. But does that make you the best player on your team, though?
No,
I mean, because
I'm agreeing with you in that one, in that aspect.
Let's look at it like this. Okay. I'm interested to know. This is what I'm interested to know. Shador had what? He was 38 or 47. All right. 510 yards, 4 TDs. I'm interested in knowing how many of those, because they count those yards. Some of those yards are counted what the receiver catches yards at the catch.
Yeah, at the catch. Yeah.
That's added on to the yards that the quarterback threw the ball for.
Yeah.
When technically the quarterback probably only threw it like 8 yards, and the receiver probably took it another 60.
If I catch a 5-yard slant and I go 90 yards, he gonna get that 95 yards.
Yeah, he get 95 yards. You see what I'm saying? I'm interested to know like how many of those. I mean, I'm not talking about Shador personally, but I'm just talking about all quarterbacks. So like, how many of these passes that we have are less than or 15 yards or less? That quarterbacks started that go for touchdowns that end up being like 75-yard touchdowns. Who did more work on that play? Honestly,
that's a great question. Like, because the reason, like you said, why Mac Jones didn't get it that year, because he was third. The reason why he didn't get it is because Devontae Smith was getting yardage out the woohoo.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, how much work did the quarterback really do? And I'm not taking anything away from the quarterback, but I'm looking at it from that perspective of how much work did that quarterback do to throw that ball? Yes, you read the defense, but if your offensive line gave you a clean pocket, if you had to scramble out, move inside the pocket a little bit, make a 10-yard throw, and then that receiver took that 10-yard throw and made 2 guys miss and still ran another 60 yards for a touchdown, who did more work?
So basically, you said quarterbacks
benefit a lot. I would tell you that.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you something. Like quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, a quarterback who had to run and throw just to keep, keep the offense on the field, should get more praise than quarterbacks like per se a Baker Mayfield who's benefiting from a receiver taking the ball 45 yards.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe quarterbacks who are more, what they call them, more what the dynamic quarterback is what they want to say. Quarterbacks who are more dynamic, I feel like they should get more credit because they probably do more work to get a completion than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are a great quarterback, let's take Tom Brady for example. I know this segment is about who deserves more hype. I said Travis. Marcus said Shador. Now let's take Tom Brady for example. Tom Brady is the king of quick passes. King of the short game. Tom Brady ain't taking anything. He ain't throwing too many balls 20 yards more down the field. Everything that he throw, literally, is probably 12 yards or less. And his receivers break them things and they go for it.
I can see what you're saying, but to me, the short pass king, and I count for this dude a lot.
Go ahead.
Would be Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I forgot about Ben.
Ben Roethlisberger.
I would give you that too.
Like in his last year, he went 12-0 with just on slam.
I give you that too. But what the point I'm trying to make is, this is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I know what you're making.
How much work does the quarterback actually do? Now, there is a mindset of playing quarterback. I get that. You have to be able to read defenses, pre-reads, stuff like that. If a man goes in motion and the cornerback doesn't go all the way across the field with that receiver, you know that's zone. If he goes all the way across the field, you know they're playing man on the back end. You know that type of stuff. If it's one safety high, you know they're in a cover one. It's you got that type of stuff. That's understandable. But when it comes to the play on the field, when the play happens, who does more work?
Yeah, if I get a receiver the ball and he break a tackle and go
Exactly.
75.
He break 2 or 3 tackles and go 75 yards for a touchdown. Who did the work on that play? Who did the work? Because it could have been the quarterback could have thrown a bad ball behind the receiver who had to catch it. Now the receiver has to catch the ball behind him. Now he has to turn upfield, and now he has to figure out a way. Okay, I got to juke this dude, and he scored. All I'm saying is the Heisman Trophy should not be a quarterback award, and that's what it feels like. And that's how I feel like it's going to a quarterback only award when it should be who is the best player that impacts the team the most. And on most teams, the quarterback is not that person. It's somebody else. For example, Miles Jack. Miles Jack won Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year in 2013 for UCLA. Miles Jack was a linebacker and a running back. Charles Woodson won the Heisman, and he played cornerback, wide receiver, and he was a punt returner. Those guys impact the game. Like,
True.
they impact the game. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and I'm just like, that's my way of looking at it, of saying Travis Hunter is the guy that I think should get the more recognition because he impacted the game. He impacted that game more than what Shedeur did. Shedeur made great throws, but if it wasn't for Travis Hunter stepping in and intercepting that ball in the end zone, possibly we talking about TCU up winning by 3 points or more. You know what I'm saying? You had the other guy, Woods, that intercepted it earlier in the first half. He intercepted it. Those are impact plays. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I see the Heisman Trophy Award. People may disagree with me, but that's just how I see it. And I feel like the award should go to the person
for
that
the most valuable
impacts
player.
the team.
And like you said, my stance on that is if he can continue this the whole season, by God,
That's a big if. That's a big
you know
if.
what I'm saying? By God, he's the most valuable player. He's the best player I have ever seen. A two-way man who's just dominating.
You're not lying.
But me, myself, personally, I just can't expect a player to continue that dominance the whole season. Like I see Shedeur still continuing his stride. Even though Travis Hunter don't even have 45 to 50 yards receiving, he has more weapons that he can still throw.
Yeah, I feel you on
400
that.
yards.
I see where you coming from that. I do. I mean, I just feel like
To me, Travis Hunter had the biggest impact on that game. I agree 100%.
Yes, he did, and that's what the Heisman Trophy should be. The Heisman Trophy should be the college football player who had the biggest impact on their team, helping their team to win or compete. That's how I see it. But when it comes to that other things come in play, and it's sometimes a lot of great players get overlooked because their team wasn't winning, but that person impacted their team the most, and they were competitive, but they didn't. They probably lost a close game here or there, or they lost a game to where they can get into a conference championship game, and now they're out of contention because they lost that and they didn't get a chance. So it's hard for me sometimes because I just feel like that award is becoming more of a quarterback award than anything. But yeah, man,
that's what the game is going to quarterbacks. Like it's a passing situation, man. If you can put up 4,000 yards, they
I heard somebody say in the Pac-12 they spot you 2,500 yards. I think
they do though. But
I think the
that's
dudes at
what
the
I
award
was
report said
saying
that.
about what Prime did was so clever. Because why not put my son in a situation where he can just pad his stats?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was Mike G that said that from the award report, man.
I haven't seen not one defense that'll hold you up under 20 points a game.
Yeah,
consistently.
Man. You right. You got a point there. You got a point.
So why not put my son in that situation when I want to see him get to the next level?
Very
then logically, my other son is a DB, meaning he has to guard passing routes the whole game, which is gonna pad his stats with tackles and pass. Like it's smart.
Very true.
Prime time is clever, man.
Hey,
give that man his props.
Hey,
because he could have went to Auburn.
Nah.
We did offer him a job. Now, Nick, don't say, we flew him in. We flew him in.
There's a story behind that. And I'm the reason why I'm not going to comment on that. is because there is a story behind that, but it's not what people think. It's not what people think. There's a story behind it. So, and because it didn't happen, I'm not going to comment on it because we got Hugh Freeze now. Well, Auburn has Hugh Freeze, but something happened. I'm gonna just put it like that. We're just gonna put it like that. I'm gonna just put it like that. Something did happen. But yeah,
Nah, listeners are intrigued to know since you
well,
got the
I
inside.
can't. No, I don't know. That no, because that's not great journalism, ladies and gentlemen. It's not
It's
great
speculation.
journalism. This is speculation. You want to put fact on it. So
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it didn't
most
happen. So Hugh Freeze is the head coach now. Auburn has a great head coach in Hugh Freeze, and we plan on winning championships at Auburn. So it is what it is. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about it in the post game. We'll talk about it in the post game a little bit more.
It's time to shut it down in the post game.
Oh man, that was a great game, man. I feel like we dominated. I feel like we dominated again. But that was a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for turning in.
Finna start, Nick. You know what we're finna do.
Of course, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk, man. We are here. We are back. Oh my God, what did I just do? We are back every Wednesday in your ear, giving you our perspective on sports and around the Water Cooler Talk, man. So we thank y'all so much again for listening, man. Hey, so last week we started our game picks, and I'm not too proud to pick that I went 0 for 5 last week. I lost all the games that I picked, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus ended up 2-3. So Marcus has a little bit of lead on me right now. But we still got a whole season to go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a whole season to go. And we still don't have a drop for this segment, but we about to pick some games for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. We about to pick some games. We're going to pick 4 college games and 2 NFL games because, NFL season is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. We're going to get a drop for this. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
All right, so first game we picking, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus, Texas A&M versus Miami. Who you got?
I know you very high on this team, Nick.
I am.
So I'm gonna rock with them for this game right here.
All right,
I'm gonna go with Texas A&M over Miami. I'm
right.
gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with Jimbo. Go with
right.
little Jimbo.
He picking A&M. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Texas A&M as the first team out of the college football playoff. So I'm picking Texas A&M as well. A&M, baby, let's go. All right, that's what we got. So we both got A&M. That means, I don't know what that means, but we'll see. All right, next game on the docket here, Stanford versus USC. This is an intriguing matchup.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad you put this on the list.
This is an intriguing matchup.
Stanford usually play USC real tough.
They do.
But you know what? They ain't got the Heisman winner.
Oh.
Caleb Williams, baby. We going USC by 30.
By 30?
By 30.
Oof, that's tough right there. That's tough. Okay, you going USC. I am going... I'm going to go USC as well. I'm gonna go USC to win that game as well. I don't know if it's gonna be by 30, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna pick USC to win that game as well too. All right, I got USC winning that game. All right, next game on the docket: Arizona versus Mississippi State.
I'm sorry, SEC. I'm gonna go with Arizona.
You going with Arizona to beat Mississippi State?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arizona for the upset.
Oh my God, Marcus is going with Arizona with the okay. I'm sticking with the SEC. I'm going Mississippi State.
We knew you were going. We know you tried and true.
I'm sticking with the SEC, man. It just means more. I don't care what nobody say. The SEC is still the greatest conference, man. I'm sorry.
I agree with that, but I'm going Arizona tonight.
I'm going Mississippi State to win that game. Oh, boy. And this is the one everybody is waiting for.
You done put one out there.
This is the one everybody waiting for right here, man. Texas versus Alabama. Now, College Game Day will be there. SEC Nation will be there. The game is in Tuscaloosa.
In Tuscaloosa.
And apparently, Jalen Milroe is supposed to be that dude.
Hey, he recuperated great last week.
They played against Middle Tennessee State.
I know, but
just like Auburn played against UMass, but okay.
Yeah, he recuperated great last week.
Who are you picking, Marcus?
Nick, stop making me do this, man.
Don't tell
I'm
me.
gonna have to go with them boys in Tuscaloosa.
Oh my God, he going with Bama.
I'm gonna have to go with them boys in Tuscaloosa, giving them Texas boys a warm pre-game pre-year welcome to the SEC, cause they'll be there next year,
Yeah,
and they're
you
gonna get
right.
a whole
You
knuckle
right.
sandwich of it all year long.
You right.
But
You got a
here,
point.
here go a sample. We're gonna give them a taste. We'll give them a sample taste. I don't usually like room for Alabama, but I want them to give them a sample. Give them a sample, Nick.
Yeah, I'm not with you on that one, ladies and gentlemen. I am picking Texas to beat Alabama.
That's like they're more experienced.
I'm picking Texas
I
to beat
see.
Alabama. Quinn Ewers is that he's in that. He's been in that offense a little bit longer than Jalen Milroe has been in Alabama's.
More experience. I know you're going up.
Defenses that Texas got a defense, ladies and gentlemen. They can ball. They can ball. Don't please discount that Rice game because JT Daniels was the starting quarterback. Is a starting quarterback for Rice, who was a 5-star recruit that was supposed to be at Georgia, but Stetson Bennett, he got hurt, but Stetson Bennett stepped in and took that job and never gave it back. JT Daniels is the deal at Rice. Thank you very much. Texas is for real. Texas is for real. And Texas is going to roll into Bryant-Denny Stadium on the campus of the University of Alabama, and they will beat the Alabama Crimson Tide.
In Tuscaloosa?
And they will. I'm picking Texas. And it's not because it's just Alabama. I just think Texas has a better football team.
Okay.
I think Texas has a better overall football team.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. All right. Going to the NFL right now.
Hey, these the picks that y'all need to come pick with us. This is how you win your $50 gift card.
At the end of the season, the winner will win the $50 gift card.
This is week 1. We gave y'all this right here a test run. So this week 1.
Yeah. So you don't have to
By week
pick.
2,
You don't have to pick this week. Starting next week.
Yeah,
You have to
2,
pick.
We need y'all now.
I got to pick with us starting next week. All right. First game. Dolphins versus Chargers. Who you got?
Ew. I have my division rivals, the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh.
If Tua don't get hurt,
They something serious.
I think they're gonna do the Chargers dirty. Sorry, Kyle.
You know what? I agree with you on that. I'm going. Shout out to Cal. Shout
Shout out to my boy. Chargers your team, but I think they're gonna do you greasy.
Yeah, I'm picking the Dolphins as well, man. I think the Dolphins gonna win that game, man. If Tua stays healthy, I think Tyreek Hill has 2,000 yards this season. He was close last season. If Tua didn't get hurt last year, Tyreek Hill would have had 2,000 yards. I will say that right now. I think Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle is in big for a big year. That's the way I'm rolling with that one.
Man, if Jalen Ramsey was healthy, bro, it'll be crazy right now.
Probably. You know what? It would be. All right. Second and final game of the NFL season. Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. I think that's Monday Night Football.
It is Monday night, Nick. It is.
You
know why it's Monday night?
Why?
Because it's prime time.
Okay. All right.
That's a prime.
We're gonna name this episode Prime Time. That's gonna be the name of this episode.
Hey, why not? We already talked about Colorado.
This the name of this episode is Prime Time.
It's prime time, baby.
Who you got? Bills versus Jets.
Don't ask me this question. You already know who I'm taking.
Y'all about to lose.
Bills Mafia.
Y'all about to lose because I'm taking the
Bills
Jets.
Mafia.
I'm taking the Jets to win that game.
Why not? We knew you were gonna do that. We ain't
Taking the
worried
Jets
about
to
that.
win that game,
We
baby.
ain't worried about that. We ain't
I got
worried
the
about
Jets. I got Aaron Rodgers coming out, getting his first win in a New York Jets uniform, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
This is good, man. I'm enjoying this. This is great.
And wait on it.
This is great, ladies and gentlemen. This is good. This is good. So you hear the picks. We'll come back next week and we'll come back with an updated tally. And we will go from there.
Pick with us. Like, why we doing this by ourselves?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Y'all come join us. We shouldn't be doing this by ourselves.
Starting next week, it will start to count starting next week. So yeah, it's good to go. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus, is about that time.
Okay.
It's about that time to give out the award that
You
everybody
know who to
loves.
go to.
Everybody loves the award, but the person that gets it hates.
Give it up for the Water Boy Award.
Gatorade. It's too old.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Marcus. Who you giving the Waterboy Award to this week, boss man?
Man. We gave these two guys a lot of praise, Nick. And they sadly let us down this week.
They did.
More so Dabo than Brian. But my Waterboy Award goes to Dabo Swinney and Brian Kelly. Bruh. First of all, let's get on you, Dabo. How you get blitzed by Duke? Duke don't win none but basketball. We don't know Duke for none but basketball. And you telling me you got blitzed by Duke in a season opener?
By Duke.
By Duke? Coach K wasn't even on the sideline. How you get blitzed by Duke and Coach K didn't even coach? And Brian, please go back to the drawing board. Please, because I had you ranked high this year. And I still got hope for you. But if y'all gonna keep doing that, man, it's gonna be a long season for y'all. Brian, please show me that you worth the preseason coach of the year they gave you for the SEC. They said you were good. Nick even said you were good.
I surely did.
Please show me where you good at.
I surely did.
Because that right there, what you just did against Florida State, that wasn't good. Dabo was worse than you, but that wasn't good. So both of you guys, I got a nice little cold water for you next to the water cooler that week. And you can sit next to me and we can watch some film. And maybe I can help you more than you can help me. Because y'all film watching atrocious.
Hey, you heard what the man said. Come on, take a seat on the bench with us and take a sip of this cool water. Boy, man, I surely did say Brian Kelly was a great coach.
I said Dabo was top 3.
He basically didn't. I'm putting it like this. You know what? I can argue mine. Brian Kelly was at least competitive in his game. Dabo wasn't. I'm gonna say that.
Hey, and I won't argue back. He got blitzed by Duke.
Oh goodness, man.
Matter of fact, Duke earned a top 25 spot off of what they did to him.
They probably they did. Because then Clemson fell to 25, didn't they?
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Yes, bro.
Wow.
So I won't sit here and argue that. He don't you trashed him all with the whole third quarter. I ain't even gonna defend him until he deserved me defending him.
Look, hey, Dabo, start using that transfer portal, boss. Please.
Hey man, get out your way, Dabo. For real.
Man. Marcus, man.
That water.
Marcus, this has been a great show, man. We're getting better, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we're getting better every day. Every week we get better.
That's what we here for.
I feel like we're becoming more consistent. I like this. And imagine once we get on YouTube and we start putting this video content on YouTube, man, it's gonna be off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus, man, how you feel about the show today, man?
Man, I heard a text you when you told me what we were doing today. I was like, man, it right here gonna be great.
Yeah, man, it's so much fun now that we got actual
games to talk about.
Yes, man.
That's live.
Man, this is fun, man. Hey, again, before we get up out of here, man, we thank y'all so much, man. Hey, go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Coolest Pod. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk. Again, it's at The Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us on Twitter because we do live tweet doing some games at Coolest Pod 23. Again, it's at Coolest Pod 23 on Twitter or X. I gotta start saying that now, X. Email us at wctpod@gmail.com. Again, it's wctpod@gmail.com. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we need your help. We want to do this full time. We need your help. We want y'all to go subscribe, to our YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube, Coolest Pod at the Coolest Pod 23, or search us in the search bar at Water Cooler Talk Podcast on YouTube, man. We are trying to make it. We're trying to make this full time, ladies and gentlemen, man. We appreciate y'all listening as well. Hey, and wherever you are listening to this podcast at, a way to help us out, go rate, and review the podcast. If you're listening to it on Apple, you can do that. Like it, rate it, and write a review. That helps push us up so more people can hear us, man. So we appreciate y'all, man. Marcus, anything you want to say before we get up out of here, boss?
Man, shout shouts out to Team USA. I know y'all took a bad loss in the FIBA.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all.
Mhm.
Also fans, subscribers, loyal listeners, whatever you want to be categorized, please DM us and participate. We got this $50 gift card. It burning a hole in my pocket. I'm trying to give it to somebody. Like, come on, man. Like, come just right. All you gotta do is inbox me and Nick. We'll just put you down. And we just need your picks. Every
Yeah.
week we need you to tune in and listen to what the games is. See, that's how we know you tuning in, because you gotta listen to see what the games is.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Come pick these games with us.
Yeah, man. We
You
appreciate
know what I'm
y'all.
saying?
We appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man. Every Wednesday we here, man. We about to get up out of here, Marcus, man. One more, anything else before we leave, boss?
Man, shouts out to the home team as always.
Tuskegee
Trill,
all day, baby. 334
Uncle Willie,
46.
Kyle, everybody who tune in daily, who give me criticism, who be on my neck when I say something stupid. Shouts out, man. Let's keep it going.
Hey, man, shout out to the home team, man. As he always said, Tuskegee, Macon County, 334-46, man. Booker T. Washington High School, man. Everybody there, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We love y'all, boss. Hey, when we make it, we putting y'all on. When we make it, yes, sir. Hey, man, but again, man, we thank y'all again for tuning into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We here every Wednesday in your ear, man. Oh, man. Until we meet again, everybody, y'all have a good one. Nah, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. One love.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Water Cooler Talk. Make sure to follow us on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at Water Cooler Talk and on YouTube at The Coolest Pod 23. Also, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast player so that you never miss an episode.